Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm here again for another video. I'm so happy that you're here checking me out. And today's video is going to be a little bit more tedious. So if you want to get a notepad and write things down, be my guest. That would be beneficial for anybody, you know. So this is how you're going to plan your realistic goals for the future. So I give myself about a 5-year gap to plan my goals. I'm going to flip the screen. You know, you're going to see all the things that I'm saying to you. I'm going to be looking at my phone, but it's going to be on screen. So, you know, so you can follow this video. So anyways, let's jump into it because I don't want it to be too long. Okay, the first one is planning realistic dreams for yourself. When I say realistic, I mean actual goals that you can achieve where you are right now financially so that you can get to the next step. So, for me, I put an example: travel, buying a new house, paying off your debts, buying a new car, buying expensive clothing. These are stuff that you can achieve within the next 5-year gap if that's your goal. Now, your list is going to be different from, let's say, my list. These are goals that I've achieved already, but you know what I mean? So for you, it's going to consist of things that you truly, really deeply want to have, okay? A Bentley could be a real goal for you, but is it realistic? I don't know where you are financially. Or buying a huge 10-bedroom mansion may be one of your goals, but are you there right now? Maybe not. So when I say realistic, I mean things that you can achieve in the next 5 years if you put your mind and you want to pursue it. Because a lot of people can want something that somebody else has, but they are not willing to put the time into achieving that objective. Next one is prioritize your dreams. So now you have, let's say, those 5 goals. Well, now you're going to prioritize them from 1 to 5. Okay, so let's say you want to travel, but before you can travel, you have to pay off your debt first. Then paying off your debt will come before travel. Okay, so you want to travel, but you want to buy a house first. Then paying off your debt comes before your house. So you're going to look at each item that you have on your list and you're going to put them in priority. What do you have to do first so that you can achieve your goal? So let's say you want to buy a house and you want to buy a newer car, but let's say your debt needs to be paid. So you know your debt is number 1 above everything else. But the car and the house are fighting each other for the number 2 slot. Well, here's how I look at it. If my car is old and is about to die, then it becomes an emergency that I actually do need a newer car. Then that becomes priority. But let's say I have an okay car, then I'm going to do the house as number 2 and maybe the car as number 3. Okay, and then after that, maybe travel and then buy new clothes. Wherever you want to place that order in, or for your own 5 items, then do it that way. Okay, so work on what is important to you, because for you, maybe a house isn't important, and actually having a newer car would make you have a better job because your car would be newer and that can bring you further. You know what I mean? So maybe you want to apply for a job that's out of your town and you're going to need a new car to travel every day in safety and knowing that your car won't break down. So that's important to you. Or that new job is going to give you more money so you're able to save your down payment to buy a house. See how that works? So it has to work with what your lifestyle is and what you want for yourself. Okay? Number 2 is how much will you need for each item. Okay? Always guesstimate. Okay? I didn't say estimate, I say guesstimate because it's the best guess that you can give. So let's say you want to pay off your debt. Look at your debt. The debt now has to be the exact number, okay? It has to be exact. Don't be like, I think I'm in $15,000 in debt. No. Get your credit cards together, get your line of credit, see who you owe, family members, friends, because the last thing a family member who you owe money wants to see is you in a nice new car talking about how you're traveling the world. That's gonna piss them off, okay? Because for them, they're gonna be like, so when are you gonna pay me back? Okay? So don't play that. I would say, let's say you look at your debt, you're $10,000 in debt. Okay, so that's your first thing. The next thing, you know, you want to buy your house. Sorry, buy a new car. Okay, that's going to be $6,000, let's say used, and then, or you're going to finance it for, let's say, $300 per month. Figure out if that's what you can afford. Next, third, buy a house. You're going to buy a $200,000 house. Okay, 5% or 10%. What are you going to save to be able to buy it? Are you going to save 5% of a down payment, 10% of a down payment, or 20% of a down payment? Is it feasible? Is it possible for you to save that amount of money? Look at your budget. Look at the amount of money that's going in and the amount of money that's going out. Like expensive clothing. Like how much do you feel like you need to buy expensive clothing? Like let's say you need $500 per month to buy expensive clothing. I don't need that, but maybe you do. That's going to be a part of your goal. Say, okay, I'm going to need $500 per month to buy this clothing. Travel, $4,000, let's say, per vacation. So say, okay, you know what? Can I travel once a year, or do I have to wait to travel every 2 months so I can save that $4,000? So you're going to have to figure out what amount you can guesstimate that you're going to need to attain those goals. Okay? Next one, tools that will help you to get your goals right, okay? So now when I say tools, I mean, what is it in your life that you have to fix for you to be able to achieve these goals? So let's say the first one is debt. You have to pay off your debt. How? Well, the tool that you're gonna need is a budget, right? A balanced budget where you know that monthly you're paying off your interest plus the principal. So you are able to pay off your debt. Because let's say you're paying $500 for debt each month, but you need a $500 budget per month to buy the clothing that you really want. Well, you want to get rid of that debt, so you can take that $500 and buy the clothing that you really want without being in debt for it. Or let's say you need to save for a down payment, and that $500 that you were using to pay off your debt, which this means your debt is completely paid off, you can take that money and allocate it to buying a house and saving for a down payment. Same thing for a car, or same thing for a travel. It's like you're basically snowballing your money. So you pay off your debts, take that money, and you put it towards your dreams. Simple? I think so. Now, the last thing is to set yourself a deadline. Every goal needs a deadline, because if you do not have a deadline, it means a line in the sand where you say, okay, at this point I want to be debt free. At this point I want to own a house. Then you're still dreaming. It's not a goal, it's a dream. It's just what it is. And a lot of people are dreamers. A lot. I hear people tell me, wow, you travel the world. I want to travel the world too. But you know what? I'm not going to stop going out and spending money that I have not yet earned. I'm going to still live on credit, or I'm going to still, not own anything, but I still want to be like you. And it's like, what are you saying, man? Like, dude, you got to fix yourself before you can live that dream. You can fake live that dream, but it can only last so long until the bill collector, the bailiff's at your door talking about, yo, your rent's not paid. Okay, so you have to think about those moments, saying, okay, you know what? Yes, I want to live that dream, but do I want to put in that effort? As I said, I give myself 5 years. So it was in the first year, I say, okay, I want to pay off my debt, all my debts in 1 year, maybe 2 years. Okay, so remember, when I say a deadline, I mean like you're saying, I'm paying off my debt by January 2020. There, January 2020, that debt needs to be paid off. It is my goal. I'm going to work towards that. Okay, that's you setting a line. Now, if January 1st comes, or whatever January comes, 2020, and either your debt hasn't been paid off yet, or you just have a little bit left, then you push it. You can move the deadline. Okay, it's not set in stone. It's, as I said, it's a line in the sand, not in stone. You're gonna need to you do that. That's okay. It's your life. It's your money. It's what you do. The worst thing you can do though is, let's say you say, well, in 1 year I'm gonna pay off my debt. In 1 year and 6 months, I'm going to buy a house. In 2 years, I'm going to buy a new car. That's too close. Give yourself some time. It did not take you a short amount of time to get into debt. Well, sometimes it does, okay? But it's going to take you a while to get out of debt, and it's going to take you a while to get your credit right. It's going to take you some time to buy a house or to travel or stuff like that. It's going to take some time. But that doesn't mean that you sit in your house and you're like, well, I can't do nothing because I have debt. But no, you still live. You still give yourself, let's say, $20 a month or $50 a month, whatever the case may be, to go and enjoy yourself. Because, you know, focusing on one thing is hard. That's why I say give yourself 5 years, because it gives you time to screw up, you know, and learn and grow. Maybe in a year, you're not going to want to travel. You're not going to want to buy new clothes. You just want to get your house. So, you know, your goals are going to change. They're going to evolve. Maybe you're going to want to have another baby. Maybe you're going to want to send your child to private school or whatever, you know. So I say be adaptable, but have a plan, because the worst thing you can do, and I heard this said, is that the worst thing you can do is live your life without a goal or a destination or an end goal in mind. So it's as if you set out on a road trip, get in your car, don't have a map, don't have a GPS, you really don't have any idea where you're going, but you're saying, well, I do want to land in Florida eventually. Well, yeah, you're going to land in Florida eventually, but when? How many times are you going to get lost? How many times are you going to turn around? How many times are you going to stop, ask for directions? How many times you're not going to know where you're going to stay at night and you sleep in your car? Well, that's because you didn't have a plan. But if you get out and you say, okay, well, I want to go to Florida. I have a GPS or a map. I'm going to stay at this hotel. My trip is going to go this way, this way, this way. Even if at the end of the day you don't actually end up in Florida and you decide, okay, well, I actually want to change my trip and I'm going to go to, you know, New York instead, that's fine. But you had a plan. You knew how to get there and you know how to adapt to the plan. So anyways, those are my tips. I hope they were helpful. As I said, everything's written down. I'm probably going to be putting it up on my blog too, so which is thesinglemom.space.com. So you can go and check it out there. Like, subscribe, comment if you have some tips on achieving your goals. I would love to hear it. I'm all about that. I'm all about empowering single mothers, empowering women, men too. I feel like once you know where you're going in life, you can achieve anything. I am proof that you can achieve anything. I'm a young single mother, you know, where people were telling me you can't do these things, and I'm doing them, and I'm looking at these people going, sorry, I had a plan, I had a goal. Anyways, like, subscribe, do what you do.